The Prime Minister's hero watching over his successors, a national symbol of courage in wartime, which Boris Johnson wants to emulate, but also proof you can change Prime Minister in conflict.
Did you lie to Parliament, Prime Minister?
Back on the agenda after Boris Johnson became the first inhabitant of number 10 to be fined for law breaking.
I take this opportunity on the first available sitting day to repeat my wholehearted apology to the House.
But after the apology came the excuses.
It did not occur to me then or subsequently that a gathering in the Cabinet room just before a vital meeting on COVID strategy could amount to a breach of the rules.
Not knowing, key to his defence, he didn't mislead Parliament. Also key is what's going on in Ukraine.
I feel an even greater sense of obligation to deliver on the priorities of the British people and to respond in the best traditions of our country to Putin's barbaric onslaught against Ukraine.
The Labour leader having none of it.
As the latest mealy-mouthed apology stumbles out of one side of his mouth, a new set of deflections and distortions pour from the other. But the damage is already done. The public have made up their mind. They don't believe a word the Prime Minister says. They know what he is.
Most Tories asking supportive questions.
Could I ask the Prime Minister, did you deliberately mislead the House at the dispatch box?
No, Mr. Speaker.
But one former chief whip and leadership contender demands Boris Johnson quits now.
I regret to say that we have a Prime Minister who broke the laws that he told the country they had to follow, hasn't been straightforward about it, and is now going to ask the decent men and women on these benches to defend what I think is indefensible. I'm very sorry to have to say this, but I no longer think he is worthy of the great office that he holds.
Do you think Boris Johnson lied to Parliament?
I don't think he's been straight with Parliament, no. And I said that in my letter to Sir Graham Brady. I think it's difficult to draw any other conclusion.
A humble apology, but that's not enough to shut this issue down. Labour calling a vote on Thursday over whether the Prime Minister lied to Parliament. The opposition want to keep this issue in the spotlight all the way to the local elections, because it's only after that, and the top official Sue Gray has done her report, that Tories will really turn their mind to whether they want to keep Boris Johnson as their Prime Minister.
Who to keep in the corridors of power and who to put on Parliament's backbenches, that's the question for MPs. But Winston Churchill believed you never give in, you never yield to force. Can Boris Johnson emulate this? Sam Coates, Sky News, Westminster.